Welcome to a sports betting podcast from pregame.com for the week of October 15th, 2009. I'm your host, RJ Bell. I'm joined by Vegas Runner, a genuine professional bettor here in Las Vegas, Marco D'Angelo, 30 years in the business. This is segment 2 of 5, big game preview in college football, USC Notre Dame. Vegas Runner, as always, give us the line report on this game.
Okay, this one opened last week offshore for this week's games at 11 and 47.5. USC minus 11 and the total 47.5. Immediately, we saw some money come in on Notre Dame on the dog. We're now looking at a line of 10 and 48.5 or 49. So there's been money on Notre Dame and on the over.
Okay, so each week we look at, typically during football, 5 games, and we give 3 official picks on this game, on 3 of the different games. This is one of the games we don't have an official pick on. So really, this is going to be a situation where we're going to look at the pros and cons on each side. So Marco, for a bettor, what is the one key factor he should be thinking about in this game?
You got to decide which side of the ball is going to dominate. USC's defense or Notre Dame's offense. That's the game. That's the matchup right there.
So that's strength versus strength.
Yep.
All right. And what's your gut feeling?
Notre Dame has not faced the defense of Southern Cal's yet this year. Southern Cal hasn't given up more than 16 points in a game this year yet, which is pretty impressive considering some Pac-10 games.
You can't run on them, but I think the only success you can have against them is if you pass. And that's why I think the sharp money went towards Notre Dame, because if any year ever Notre Dame's going to have a shot, it's with Clawson this year. I mean, the kid's having a career year, 1,500 yards, 68% completions, 12 TDs, 2 interceptions. So if you ever have a quarterback at Notre Dame who will put you in a position to show up against a top 5 team in the country, I think this is the time.
All right, so let me pose a question to you guys. What has been Notre Dame's most impressive win this year, or most impressive game? The Nevada game was impressive at the time.
At the time it was.
But looking back, not quite as impressive.
Because Nevada got off to an 0-3 start this year.
So my question is, where is the result that makes us think this Notre Dame team
is a top 25?
Because remember now, USC was a 7-point, if I'm not mistaken, a 7-point, well, I know I'm not mistaken because that was one of my winners, 7-point favorite against Ohio State. We had Ohio State, or I did. And now the question is, if it's down to 10, is Notre Dame Ohio State on a neutral field is -3? And if so, or if not, the question is USC more lightly regarded now than they were in that Ohio State game? They won a close game there. They lost the game to Washington. Maybe a little less lightly or well regarded. But let's be honest, they're still 3 or 4 in the odds makers poll. So Vegas believes they're one of the top 5 teams in the country.
For sure.
What has Notre Dame done to be within a field goal of Ohio State?
Well, on the field, they're not. But you know how we always talk about there's certain teams in every sport that has that built-in mystique that has bettors? Notre Dame is one of those
followers
in football.
Agreed, but if there's 5 teams that do, Notre Dame, that are marquee teams in the college football, Notre Dame's one of them, but USC's one of them too.
Yeah.
Especially with USC, and the thing people don't realize sometimes is the people that come in on the weekend, you're always going to get USC and UCLA and the Lakers specifically jacked up a little bit because all of that, especially on weekend games, all the weekend LA people come to town, they're betting USC. So it's hard to imagine that Notre Dame's premium is any higher than USC.
And I think just like we discussed on the Texas-Oklahoma game about last year, such a difference in the spread, a 10-point difference. Are you telling me is Notre Dame that much better than they were last year, or USC that much worse? Because last year USC was a 33.5-point favorite against Notre Dame at home. They were 33.5, and they covered that number. So, now they're only being asked to lay 10 at Notre Dame. What's that, like 17-point different, 20-point different?
It's a great point. Remember, USC has the classic stat, and I actually twittered this out a few weeks ago, and if you want to check me out on Twitter, it's Twitter/RJ in Vegas, and you can check out Vegas Runner at Twitter/Vegas Runner. Vegas Runner actually does some great stuff where you're putting out the steam moves as they happen.
Yeah, real time.
All right, so one of the things I tweeted out was that USC, when they weren't on the road versus Pac-10 teams with a non-winning record, they were like 90%. It's literally like since 2002, like 60-5 or something in those situations. They're also 15-6 ATS against teams with a winning record. So this is a team that does very well against teams with a winning record. A Notre Dame team that I'm not sure how much better they are than last year, but like you said, we have a massive line swing. It seems like there's a crazy premium, which makes me wonder with the line move. The line move is moving towards Notre Dame. They're taking the points. So the question is one of two. Is this a true position that they're going to hold? Or are they expecting the public on Notre Dame and they're going to buy USC back later?
I know the word is public's going to be on Notre Dame. They're expecting public bettors to support Notre Dame on Saturday. That's what the books are saying. They don't expect USC money.
One thing that we haven't mentioned, and it's not a style of handicapping that I like, ABC handicapping, but these two teams played a common opponent. Southern Cal lost to Washington,
right.
And Notre Dame beat Washington.
And you know, when you're looking to bet,
that might be a perception issue.
Yeah, and Notre Dame's a 4-1 team at home, getting double digits.
It's scoring a
It's
lot of
not the
points.
worst, possible situation you could get yourself into. So I think that's why they are expecting the public to come in and take the.
And there's people that are buying in, and I hate when people say this, but you'll hear it on ESPN and wherever. If Notre Dame's ever going to beat Southern Cal.
Yeah, I just said it.
This is the team. This is the team.
Yeah,
this is the team that's going to do it.
Well, what I find interesting is that this Notre Dame team, before they lost to Michigan, there was talk that their schedule was so easy.
They could go undefeated.
They could go undefeated and play in the championship game.
Yeah.
And though they lost to Michigan in a close game, people I think are a little higher on Michigan now than they were. Mm-hmm. There's this sense that this Notre Dame team is pretty good. I've yet to see anything on the field to show that. And with USC going into Ohio State, and let's be honest, Ohio State has looked fairly good since, and winning that game and beating Cal, if I'm not mistaken, very badly, is, really right now, if they hadn't lost to Washington, which was a coaching situation where they had two of their former coaches there, we've seen the power of that with the Patriots last week.
They're starting quarterback out of the game.
Yeah, starting quarterback out. I'm not sure USC wouldn't be ranked, second right now.
They would be.
I agree with you 100%. This is a situation. Charlie Weiss, the offense is there quarterback-wise. This is the closest quarterback he's had to an NFL quarterback since he's been there. They're going to score points, but I don't think that they can go physically against Southern Cal. If you look at all the teams that they've hung 30-plus points on, these are teams that are not physical teams, and they've been able to dominate Notre Dame. Whenever they got to win the battle of the trenches this week, that's going to put pressure on Clausen, and he may not see him put up the numbers.
If it dips below 10, I'd look at USC
I think
myself.
You're right. 9.5.
I'd look at USC.
To me, there's one key factor here, which is USC going to play a very conservative game? Because they are physically superior to the degree. The only way they lose this game is if they're untested, quote unquote, quarterback, maybe slightly tested, throws a couple of picks and fumble here, fumble there. It's an upset. If USC plays on a high state brand of football, conservative, punt when it's fourth down, it's going to be hard to imagine them losing this game, though they'd be a lot less likely to win by double digits. So to me, the only way Notre Dame's aside is if you have a strong feeling USC is going to have a very conservative game plan.
Right. If Southern Cal comes the other way and jumps out to a 14-point lead, and Notre
takes
Dame's,
advantage of being on national TV
and
for
has
the
to start
pollsters,
throwing the ball on every down, Clausen's going to be in trouble, because when they if they put pressure on and come with the blitz schemes, he hasn't faced a defense like this.
All right. A lot of good stuff here. Okay, next segment is going to be, we're moving to the NFL. We're going to have a pick and a preview on the Giants versus the Saints. And remember, you can watch all of our videos at pregame.tv, or you can download and listen. Just go to iTunes and search for pregame.com.